Hello, everybody. Jeff Mason with Simple Biz 360 podcast, simplebiz360.com. Simple Biz Timeless Business Tools, our book on Amazon. You can get an ebook version of it. We are on 26 different listening channels. If you're watching YouTube, you'll see a little icon down on the far right-hand screen. Man, click onto that. If you like the show, if you want to subscribe, we would love you to do so. And nothing happens, doesn't cost money. You just get notified when new shows come out, and we'd love to have you be part of our audience. You can also go on our YouTube channel and hit the button there. There's a little pull down arrow. You can click on that, and that gives you all the listening platforms as well. So let's say you might want to just subscribe on Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, whatever. You can go there as well. So any rate, we are having fun, Half Coast Studios. Dietz, how's the logo coming, man? You got the new logo working, and we should have unveiled that. Maybe next time we'll give you a little blurb of that, but they're working on the logo. Alex is my sidekick over here, and now I can see him through a glass mirror. He looks out onto the floor, so it's kind of fun. That's my grandson that says, hey, so Mr. Simple Biz Guy, come on, let's start the show. So that's always a fun way to start. And, we're just trying to have a cup of coffee and with you every week, 8-10 minutes if we're doing a monologue, longer if we have guests. But, we're just trying to have some fun and illuminate some things that might not always get talked about, might not get discussed in terms of ideas and solutions. And so we're just, we kind of look at things a little differently. So anyway, this year, we started off a new challenge. It's called the Inclusion Challenge. So it's Appreciate, Focus, Deliver. Follow us this year with that. We're going to have some fun asking you questions to ask yourself about your businesses to help make your businesses a little bit better. But our book's 255 tools. It's kind of a nice little 199 pages and got a lot of jam-packed stuff there. So again, $18.95 on Amazon in paperback. We'd love you to purchase that. If you'd be so inclined. And we are just going to talk today about rugs. Why do we sweep so many things under the rug? And what are the dangers? Are you sweeping things under the rug in your businesses? Are there ways where you can get away from that and start to just not have so many problems arise because you're not tackling the problems up front? That's really kind of the questions we're gonna pose. And so the first thing I would love to just kind of flush out as we look at this, and this is really crystallized with me over the last 10 years, as I've been in executive leadership and in management. And, we all manage our own affairs and manage our own day-to-day business. So we're all managers to a degree. But I love what Harold Geneen said in his book called Managing. And he just said, managers must manage. And one of the things that's crystallized to me in the last 10 years is that there are so many managers that do not manage. Either they don't have the skill sets, they haven't been taught how to do so, and there's probably a large portion of them that have that as part of it. But there's another thing that is part of this crystallization in the last 10 years for me, and it's that I've noticed that many people mistake, they label a problem a confrontation. They look at it and they say, if I try to get in the middle of a solution on this, it's actually going to be a confrontation rather than an opportunity for me to manage. And I really just like to ask you out there in your own businesses and your own business endeavors, the companies you work for, are you experiencing situations where people mislabel the conflict that has arisen, and they mislabel that resolution as a confrontation instead of an opportunity to manage? It is so prevalent. I've really watched this take shape, and every time I see it, I really break it apart and look at it. And sure enough, I'm convinced that people are afraid of confrontation. Therefore, they elect to just sweep things under the rug and they don't deal with it. And it's a problem. It can be a problem in marriages. It can be a problem in our own homes with our kids, with issues that we want. It can be problems in our own lives. I mean, look, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and in my 33rd year, or just going to my 34th year now. And, part of alcoholism is denial. And you deny your problem so often, and what we're really doing is we're mislabeling what's going on, or we're not even labeling it. We just simply deny it. And there's a lot of managers that, I hate to say it, look at the situation and just kind of treat it like that, like are almost in denial that it's happening. They'd rather just sweep it under the rug. Well, guess what, man? That really, you want to tick customers off? You want to tick associates off? You want to tick teammates off? You be a under the rug sweeper, and, you'll do it easily. You'll do it in your homes as well. So I just kind of want to say I've really seen this, and it's just really pervasive, this whole pass the buck. I mean, we watch a political atmosphere where nobody wants to take responsibility. It's always the other guy's fault, right? We see this in life. We see this in courtrooms. We see this play out on television. We see it all over, that it's not, I'm not this way because I chose to be this way. It's other people are making me this way. It's always this pass the buck system. Well, when you're putting your own money on the line, your home equity loan, your second mortgage, the retirement money, the IRA, you've saved up for years, you've tapped your savings to start your own company. I can assure you, your customers don't want to give you their hard-earned money and watch you be a buck passer and watch you sweep things under the rug and not deal with them. You have to manage. Managers must manage. You have to label that correctly, and you have to go after it with a zealousness that says, I am going to fix this problem. More important, I'm going to prevent this problem from happening in the future. And so many buck passers and so many people who don't label things properly, they never prevent this from happening in the future. So I gave you a story a long time ago. I think it was in episode 12, but I kind of want to rehash that story. I was an executive vice president, came into a company, was dealt a lot of problems, a lot of issues. And one of them I was dealt with was a classic sweep under the rug situation. And so when I peeled back the rug, right? And when I finally looked at what was under the rug, what did I find? Well, I found out that there was 8,800 units that were not manufactured, and they were over 90 days old. We weren't even putting them into our manufacturing plans. They were just sitting there, right? And what else did I find under that rug? Well, I found 1,600 of those units were 270 days or more in age. So we had taken orders from customers 270 days or more ago and never produced that order. We were a manufacturer. Our work in process time was about 6 weeks. We could get your order and have a product in about 6 weeks. So it was really troubling, but I found all of it when I went under the rug. And what else did I find? This was the most disturbing thing. So it was 500 dealers. 500 of our dealers were wrapped up in this mess. And when I really looked at it, I put together a team called SWAT, SWWAT, Swift Win-Win Action Team. I said, give me the brightest people we have here. I'm going to try to identify problems. But more importantly, I'm going to try to identify the solutions to these problems. So we're going to manage, right? Managers must manage. Well, it was one of the most painful things I ever had to do. I had to send letters out to customers and let them know, hey, expectations, right? Building that expectation. Remember that shoe analogy from last week, tying that bow together? I had to say, look, this shoelace, I'm telling you, in 90 days, we're going to take care of your problem. We're going to ship you what you ordered a long time ago. So that was the expectation. And then at the 45-day mark, I sent them a letter and told them what the scorecard was. I think we were 82% fulfillment. So we'd fixed 82% of the problems, but there were still more problems. And when it all flushed out at the end, I think in 90 days, I was able to get 96% of the problems taken care of. But it was a very painful thing. Why was it painful? Because every Wednesday morning when the new container came into our distribution center from our own factories, we had to shut down the distribution center. We didn't have automatic allocations. We had to shut down the distribution center for about 3-4 hours. And 35 people are sitting on their hands, and they're basically opening up a container and they're manually filling the oldest order first. And it was the only way we could exercise a discipline to take care of the problem. Other people had just been sweeping it under the rug it was going on for years and years and years. So again, that's just an example. It happens all over the place. We work for companies. We give orders to companies that do this to us, and they just sweep it under that rug. Another classic situation is just, again, I worked for a company that in our customer service department, if the 5 o'clock whistle blew, right? The Vogues, right? The 5 o'clock whistle blew and they wanted to go home, and there were 22 emails in the inbox related to customer service, and you just go delete. If it's important, they'll email me back again. That's not how life works, man. People don't come back. We know that from the silent business killers. They flip you that middle finger and they go, we're out of here. We don't want anything to do with this. You guys treat my money and my transaction like crap. And you can't do that. So there's so many different ways, right, that we get into that posture of sweeping things under the rug. I want to ask you to ask yourself today, as managers of your own affairs, of your own businesses, of your own business units, departments, are you managing or are you mislabeling things instead of calling them opportunities to create a solution? Are you calling them a problem that's a confrontation and you want to avoid confrontation, so you're just going to bury it? Is that what you're doing? I just urge you, if you want healthy businesses, start this process of rethinking. And I'll tell you another thing it does. It creates this touch things once discipline where you don't keep touching the same thing over and over and over, right? You nail it. You nail it once, you fix it, you touch it once all the way down the chain and get it done, and it's done. And then lessons learned, you can hopefully prevent it from happening in the future. But, again, sweeping things under the rug, right? We all live it. We all do it. We all do it. And we've all been part of it. But we got companies out there that do it like all the time with everything. It's annoying. And it's annoying to your customers. So you want a little bit better bank account? There you go. All right. Lost in the Shuffle, J.J. Cale. You ever hear of him? Oklahoma City born, American songwriter, also a great performer, just never wanted the limelight. J.J. Cale. We hear people like, there's so many people that love this guy. Eric Clapton probably being the one that comes to mind the most for me. But J.J. Cale kind of created that Tulsa sound. So he's from Oklahoma City, but this Tulsa sound had rockabilly, it had rockabilly, country, jazz, and blues, all put into a salt shaker, shooken up, and man, that was what you got out of J.J. Cale stuff. Great songwriter. And he wrote a tune that, if you're a Skinner guy, if you grew up and you listened to those great Southern rock country bands in the 70s, Skinner did, Call Me the Breeze back in, I think they did it in 74 or whatever. But J.J. Cale wrote that in 72 on his first album called Naturally. And so we're going to leave you with another contribution from my college roommate, Greg Weiser. We're going to leave you with J.J. Cale's version of Call Me the Breeze. Phenomenal. Great guitars too, by the way. But any rate, thank you so much. Remember the new challenge this year, the Inclusion Challenge. Appreciate, focus, deliver. Don't forget last year's, the 3Y challenge. And hey, we want to just a quick shout out to our affiliates. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this show. Snugpak, right? Camping products out of the UK. Tommy Copper, compression products. Man, live your wellness with Tommy Copper. Right? We got workboots.com. Holy smokes. You want anything work related, workboots.com. Fitkit.com, man. Great little company putting all exercise and disciplines and information into little zip kits that just you can travel with, do great stuff with. So we really appreciate that. Fusion Gates. turn your home and take those crazy, cheap gates out of your home that separate rooms and put some nice decorative gates in there. You can switch out the panels and actually bring in different seasonality, kind of have it fit the decor of your room and so forth. And my wife, Monica Mason, Young Living Essential Oil. She's a dealer. We have her, all this information, all these links you can get on right from our website. You can go click on, find these guys and get in there and get in Snug Packs, the whole Amazon store. Everything's on the Amazon store on there. So all these things drop ship to you. And any rate, we thank all of them for being part of the show here. So we just want to say thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. Have a great week, folks.